When you were a kid growing up, did you ever hear your mom or dad or friends or aunts or uncles say, "We have to get to the bottom of it"? And it's like you hear this and you kind of wonder, what does this mean, get to the bottom of it? Hi, this is Jan. Welcome to another episode on the Save Money More with Jan channel. Matter of fact, one of my classic TV shows that I like to watch, and it involves a beaver. Well, his best friend at that time, his best friend Larry, okay, if you might remember him, always eating an apple. He was frustrated that his mother always wanted to get to the bottom of things, especially when he got into trouble, which was fairly often and usually when his dad was out of town. I just might add that to it. Anyway, just saying, just saying. What does this have to do with anything? Well, put it this way. On yesterday's show about this, I believe there was 7 quick tips. Yeah, yesterday's show. Well, when I recorded that show, I had to get to the bottom of something. What? Yeah, you might hear it and it sounds totally perfect. Well, that's the end goal. I want you to. I want to hand out good quality shows. However, it took me 3 or 4 takes on that show. And by take number 4, I was ready to just say, you know what? I'm not going to put the show on. I'm just going to walk away. And no, then I realized, no, get to the bottom of it. The issue was not with my reading of that was like a semi scripted show. And then I ad lib a little bit. I usually ad lib, but this was semi scripted, my bullet points, if you will. And I'm like, okay, so why is the audio not coming through? 4 takes, 4 takes of a 10 or 11-minute show. That's very frustrating, in my opinion. I'm not the type of person that likes to do a lot of retakes. I lose my patience by the third. I'm just saying the truth. I'm like, okay. So anyway, so I decided to put on my 1960s thinking, well, you have to get to the bottom of it. So I found that what happened was I would record the show. I'd put it on playback to see, to hear it back because I like to do that to make sure I'm putting out a decent show for you. So anyway, I'm playing it back, and every time I went to play it back, I hear nothing but dead airspace. Can you imagine recording a show that is half spontaneous and half scripted 4 times and hearing zero, like crickets? I'm like, what is going on here? No, my audio volume was on. It's not like, oh, well, you didn't have the volume on. So what happened was a minor technical problem. You wouldn't understand it unless you work with the interface on this StreamYard platform. But make a long story short, it was a minor adjustment, something I had to click, okay? Because I've been removing my image from the subwoofer, so you're not looking at that picture with the pulsation on it, because some people didn't like that. And some people might like that. But I says, I like to do things differently. Maybe I'll go back to it one day. I like to change things up. So anyway, after I discovered the ish, then I recorded it. I guess it was technically record number 5. So I said, well, 5 is my lucky number. So I went with it. Now I really realize why people would say all the time, well, we have to get to the bottom of it. I'm bringing this up to you not to whine, cry, and complain, but it's true. Remember that old expression, if at first you don't succeed? I couldn't understand it because, the lingo I put out was perfect. I'm like, oh, the show was perfect. And I really felt badly because the first take that I did was like, as far as the, verbiage was perfect. Perfect. That's why it was like just lost air, lost in space. But I'm encouraging anyone that has any ish, whether it's creating a product, whether it's trying to convey a message to a friend or family member, whether it's trying to write a letter and you want it just right, or even somebody that's trying to do their homework and they really want to make it better. Whatever the thing, the ish is to try to make it better. If you're not happy with it, go over it again and do it over. Okay. That's number one, because it's always going to bother you. Like if you put out like semi good work, like, wishy washy, you don't want wishy washy. You want excellence. Always strive for excellence. Always strive for better than. Always keep the bar higher. What I have noticed in the latter a couple last few years, okay, is that it strikes me a lot of stuff comes out subpar. Like Menza, like wishy washy, could have been better. In general, in life, I'm like, where did this start from? Could we be keeping the bar so low in life with everything that like if we just breathe or print our name, hey, yippee for us? No, raise the bar higher. And if there's something you can't understand, try to find out and what? Get to the bottom of it, whatever the it may be. When I took the time to get to the bottom of the issue, and I said, oh my gosh, that minor tweak, that minor thing is the reason for all of this. Then I found the problem, I knocked it out of the ballpark, and I did the great show, in my opinion anyway. Great for me because it took so many takes, but I did execute the show and I felt better. So, we don't have to settle. We do not have to settle for We do not have to settle for so. This is what's bothering me lately in general in life. I see a lot of, I could be wrong, but in my honest, humble opinion, I see a lot of complacency. I see a lot of being happy with, so. That's never good. Why can't we learn how to raise the bar a little higher and ascertain and achieve things a little bit better? You feel so much better for it. And by doing, if all of us do that alone, seriously, we make the world a better place. Like, for example, some people are like happy with just getting along. They're just so used to it. They don't think outside the box, doing the same routine year in, year out, year in. And I question that, like, life is so short. We have to we have to raise ourselves up a little bit. Maybe we should be less afraid of self challenges. I think people in general are afraid to fail. They're afraid to figure out the solution to the failure. And instead of that, sometimes people are totally okay with, who cares? Wow, that's not good. That's not good. If you see that, can you imagine if all of us felt that way? There would be zero excellence in anything. And everybody would be just, so. Like with those previous videos, I wasn't, well, not only was I not satisfied, they wouldn't come out. There was no verbiage on it. Can you imagine clicking on a video and all you see is the picture? No sound, no talking, no nothing, zero. What's the point of that? No, I can't do things like that. So we have to be beyond. We have to work beyond. And sometimes, honestly, sometimes we get so lackadaisy, so complacent, even with things that we really shouldn't be complacent with, even with things that we really shouldn't take our feet off the gas pedal with, like important changes, not so distant. We just can't be satisfied with status quo and mamsy pamsy. No, 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 no. Sometimes we just have to get to the bottom of it.